So we finally got to see Jaxson Dart out there on a football field with the other offensive rookies the Giants drafted, and then Abdul Carter was out there with the defensive guys for the first time wearing a Giants uniform since getting drafted as well. This is going to be very intriguing to watch and cover this rookie class over the next 2 months, because very rarely do you get to see 2 first-round picks in one rookie minicamp. But the Giants have 2 guys with amazing upside and potential at their respective positions. Obviously, Jaxson Dart probably won't be the week 1 starter. The Giants would be stupid to put him out there right away with the experience they have in Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston, but he definitely is the quarterback that the future of this franchise is now invested into, with the Giants moving up back into the first round to take him off the board. In this video, I want to break down what we saw in day 1 of the New York Giants rookie minicamp. I'm not going to look too deep into things or try to make anything seem bigger than it actually is. I know it's just practice, there's no pads, but again, it's just a fun time of year, and it's always exciting to see football activities start up and get going again. Before I get into everything real quick, I would really appreciate it if you would drop a like and subscribe. It only takes 5 seconds, plus you can always change your mind. We are on the road to 60,000 subscribers, and with your support, I believe that we can get there super fast. Alright, so today we got to see a lot of Jaxson Dart. We got to see him make some throws in a lot of different formations. Again, this is rookie minicamp. There are no pads, no defense, no pressure. So really all we are seeing here is the Giants trying to build up the foundation for Dart to get him accustomed to life in the NFL and how everything they like to do works. We saw him do some footwork stuff, dropping back in coverage, hitting his receivers on crossing routes, going through a couple of reads, that kind of stuff. There were a couple of point blank drops, which you definitely don't want to see happen, but there were a few undrafted free agents participating, so kind of makes sense. But anyways, Jaxson Dart in his interview after the day was finished was asked about Brian Daboll and what he thinks of him, and here is what he had to say.
What kind of feedback were you getting from Coach Daboll on the field today?
Yeah, he coaches me up like every second I'm around him. He's the guy that will walk in a room, say, goodbye and whatnot, and then he'll come back 30 seconds later because he has an idea. So he's constantly, coaching me, and I think that's what I want to be around. I want to be coached the hardest, and I feel like that's going to help me excel at the highest level and help me reach my potential. So there's not another coach I'd rather be playing for.
I think Daboll is a very underrated coach and sometimes catches strays for no reason. I know the Giants have yet to figure things out on Sundays, but I think there is a lot to blame. The Giants just have not had a reliable quarterback out there under center. So now hopefully that is to change with the new room of Jameis Winston, Russell Wilson, and then of course Jaxson Dart. Alright, moving on for a bit, now let's talk about Abdul Carter, the Giants' 3rd overall pick from Penn State. He's one of the most exciting prospects New York has had in a very, very long time. He's super versatile. He can line up at 4 to 5 to even 6 spots on the defensive side of the ball, and this guy is just a beast. He's an animal. He may come across as a friendly, good vibes type of player, which he absolutely is. He's a great presence in the locker room. He was seen on multiple occasions today dancing and just goofing around and having a good time with his new teammates, but when push comes to shove, this is going to be a guy that is one of the most feared players in the league. This is a guy that no offensive lineman is going to want to see line up across from them. Here's what Carter had to say about everything in his interview following the day. He talked about number 51, and he also talked about how he wants to catch a Knicks game courtside, and that he has hopped on the bandwagon now that they are up 2-0 against the Celtics.
How does 51 feel?
I feel good. I feel like it's going to have to grow on me a little bit, but it's feeling good right now.
How'd you settle on 51?
Pretty much what we had available, so it was a good number.
Is it set, or could you change it for the regular season?
It's pretty much set. I'm just happy to be out here playing football. That's really that's all I'm worried about.
Jumping you on the Knicks bandwagon now?
Yeah. I gotta catch the game. I want some floor seats just to see it up close. Just being up 2-0 right now versus the Celtics, the champions. I feel like they're on a really good run. I'm starting to become a fan.
Alright, now to move on from those 2 guys, let's talk about the Giants rookie class as a whole, because a lot of people just pay attention to the headlines, and right now everyone is covering Dart and Carter, but there were some gems that the Giants found in the later rounds, and there are also some players the Giants brought in as undrafted free agents to participate in this minicamp. We have defensive tackle Darius Alexander, running back Cam Skadaboo, and he made great comments in his interview that I wanted to show you.
With all you've accomplished, how do you keep finding the chip on your shoulder to prove people that you can still do more?
Yeah, how many snaps of the NFL have you seen me play? 0, right? I've proved nothing. I've proved what I am in college, but I've proved nothing at this level. So now where I'm at, I have to prove myself. And if that's for 5 years or if that's for 10 years, I'm going to continue to prove myself. I'm the best, do it for the longest. So I'll continue to do that and just work my butt off until time comes.
I love guys that come into camp with the mindset of trying to prove everyone wrong and just trying to prove themselves in the NFL, because nothing's a given in this league. You have to work hard, you have to beat your competition, you have to be focused, you have to be willing to put everything on the line, every single snap, every single rep, every single moment. Anyways, getting back on track, there's Marcus Mbow, Thomas Fidone, and Corey Black. And then in terms of the undrafted guys, we got Rashawn Baker, a running back, we got Jordan Bly, who's a receiver, Gardner Webb, Dalen Cambry out of Louisiana, Collins out of Notre Dame, RJ Delancey from Wisconsin, we got Daquan Felton, he's from Virginia Tech, Trace Ford is a linebacker from Oklahoma, O'Donnell Fortune, I don't know why, that's such a fun name to say, he's a corner from South Carolina, he was a Gamecock. We got Tommy McCormick, a safety out of Iowa, Makari Page, a safety out of Michigan, Jermaine Terry, a tight end from Oregon State, and then Antoine Wells Jr., a wide receiver from Ole Miss, and Jason Williams, a lineman from Youngstown State. Anyways, now moving on, Brian Daboll of course had a press conference talking about minicamp and what he expects and wants to accomplish over the next few days, and I want to react to and break down some of the most important things he said.
Well, I would just say everybody, it's the first day of the process. There's so much to learn. So just get better day by day. There's a lot of information that's given to these players. We'll come out here, we'll have a short practice. We'll do some individual. Some guys will do some 7-on-7. There's tryout guys here, a bunch of them. There's UDFAs, there's free agents, there's a couple of our guys. So just get into the program and start swimming. Yeah, I mean, they'll take reps in individual and things like that, but we'll kind of ease them in, get ready for phase 2 of the program and learn some of the individual techniques, but not 7-on-7, other than Jaxson, like I said.
We always hear about quarterback development. What does that actually look like for a guy like Jaxson coming into a situation like this?
Yeah, it's really the same for every position. These guys have a lot to learn. None of them have been out in an NFL practice. There's so much to learn. We'll take it day by day. We'll continue to give them information. There'll be a lot of mistakes. We'll improve off those mistakes. We'll come out in the next practice, try to do a better job, and we'll do that with all our guys.
I liked how he talked about how the rookies have a lot to learn, especially Jaxson Dart. He said it's the same process for everyone, no matter what the position is. And I feel like so often we see QBs brought into these teams, these franchises, and they're asked to turn things around in year 1. And that is a lot of weight to put on somebody's shoulders at the most important position in football. And that's why we see so many guys fail. So I love the plan right now with Jaxson Dart. I love that he has experienced QBs around him. I love the coaching staff and the system around him. I think he's going to be able to catch on pretty quickly. He's going to be able to develop at the fastest rate that he can, and it's going to be authentic. It's not going to be rushed, like I said. So I'm really excited to see what happens over these next few months for the New York Giants. I don't expect them to win a Super Bowl or be in contention for anything like that this season, but this does finally